Two major issues are tonight crystallising some of the growing difficulties facing Rishi Sunak. The NHS and the economy were prominent in his famous 5 priorities back at the start of the year. 6 months on, they're both beset by problems. The NHS in England once again faces disruption next month when junior doctors walk out for an unprecedented 5 days. More on that in a moment. But today, the Chancellor Jeremy Hunt was forced to step in to soothe fears of rising mortgage repayments. After meeting the major banks and lenders, he agreed a series of measures to try to protect mortgage holders from soaring interest rates aimed at combating stubbornly high inflation. Measures which did not, however, impress the government's critics.
A group of top bankers, among them the boss of Lloyds, summoned to a meeting with Jeremy Hunt.
What did you say to the Chancellor?
Good working level discussion.
A good discussion, he said. Others described it as productive, with pledges of help for those facing spiralling payments. So what's actually been agreed? In future, borrowers will be able to extend their mortgage term, but within 6 months revert to their original deal without a penalty. There'll be a minimum 12 months before any home is repossessed, and if you talk to a bank about financial difficulties, there'll be no impact on your credit score. But what about tax relief or other direct government help? The Chancellor's ruled that out.
The biggest thing we can do for those families is be totally resolved and unflinching in our determination to remove high inflation from our economy. That is the Prime Minister and my #1 priority, because we know that is the best thing we can do to give people security, to put money back into people's pockets and to get the economy growing.
The idea that homeowners should get a tax break has been mooted by some Tory backbenchers. Most economists disagree, as does this former Treasury advisor. But he also believes what's been announced today is essentially fine-tuning.
Banks are already obligated by the FCA to show forbearance to lenders, whether that is offering to extend the terms of loans or switch to an interest-only mortgage. So that system is in place today. I think what the Chancellor announced probably today is sort of bells and whistles that sit on top of that, but it's not a fundamental reform.
Charlotte Town and her partner already have a 33-year mortgage. Extending it is not an option, and she's fearful of the cliff edge they'll soon face.
Our mortgage payments at the moment are $1,650, and based on the rates out at the moment, our mortgage repayments will go up by at least £1,000 a month. So it's quite a substantial increase, with the risk of it going up further between now and when our rates are due to expire.
The Labour leader visiting an airbase in Oxfordshire said a voluntary agreement wasn't enough.
Making it mandatory, making it the lender's duty to do this is, I think, an essential part of this. And I think the government's sort of saying, well, we hope for the best. We hope that some mortgage lenders do the right thing. That's not strong enough in a situation like this.
But the Chancellor believes after today, the vulnerable will be better protected. Libby Vina, News at 10, Westminster.